you, Jasmine?
Oh, look at you out in the
I'll show you where I
sunshine.
am. Well, I've been out down south and I came back. It was a long, long drive. I'm on the highest point in Kwinana right now.
Oh, I'm jealous.
I thought I'd come up here and do it from here. It's a good place, like a high vantage point to see from the big picture.
It's
Having a
absolutely
big,
beautiful.
so it's like a visual representation of today, you know, seeing the big picture rather than being caught up with the small things happening in the world today.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my goodness.
It's nice, isn't it?
Oh, it's so beautiful. I'm cooped up in a little booth right now. I feel like a chicken.
Oh, absolutely. Hi, everyone. I hope you're well.
Hello, everybody. All right, we're just seeing who's in. Everyone is all from around Australia, and we've even got someone from Ireland.
Oh, wow. Hi.
Wow.
Over from Ireland. That's awesome.
Yeah, we've got Victoria, we've got Brisbane, Perth. This is excellent. Well, welcome everybody today. I just believe Travis is trying to see if we can start streaming to Facebook. So I will just let him know.
To
Yes.
Facebook without being censored. That'd be fun, won't it?
Yeah, we'll definitely be talking about that shortly. Oh, what a week. What a week. So you've been away down south, correct, Warren?
Yeah, I went down to Albany, down to the south of Albany, where it's yeah, basically just to get away and also to do some planning and some meditation and things like that. So been a great chance to get some clarity and things like that. So
Oh, this is awesome. That's great.
yeah, lovely place.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to be going next. Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
So everybody, welcome to today. You know that Tuesdays now is really about having a great chat, asking Warren lots of questions that are all on our mind and our thoughts. And today we really wanted to talk about standing up, raising up above your bullies, and that could be different for everybody. And also how we can do that and what does that really mean? Because standing up could mean something different to you or than it could mean to me. So we really want to talk about how we can actually do that in the world that we're living in right now.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, what's the end result of you taking a stand up for yourself and against, you know, your bullies? So Warren, could you talk about why is it that you feel so strongly about what you're standing up for and how you're living your life? What drives you at the moment?
Look, what drives me is I've been seeing the problems for a long time, Jasmine. And as you know, I think 20 years ago I was involved in the off the grid movement. And one of the problems when you find out the truth pretty early on, it can be a bit disheartening at times as you're frustrated and seeing things. And we were having problems with you know, jabs and medical people back in 2003, 2004, as recently as that. So it's look, I'm just very passionate in that I've always believed, I mean, passionate for a free Australia, a free world. And I think we've been living under an illusion of freedom myself. I think that a lot of rights were taken a long time ago. And it's just been a very gradual process of happening. And we've just let it happen. So where we're at right now is not the result of one day waking up in March 2020 and losing rights. It's a case of over 20, 30, 50, 100 years even they've been getting gradually and slowly and very carefully and systematically eroded. So what drives me is that I'm actually, my whole perception of it right now, although I don't like certain things I'm seeing, I'm very inspired how much people are waking up now and wanting to listen. And I think we're in the best place to make change that I've ever seen in my lifetime. And that's what drives me, in that I hit a point early this year where I was just pondering, after last year, I was still finding most people weren't waking up and listening. And I was at the point that's like, what's the point, you know? No one cares, no one wants to listen. And for about 3 or 4 months, I just stopped really doing anything and just having fun. And then about April, I thought, now I'm going to get up and just share what I know, help as many people as I can. Because like all of you, I just desire to live in a country where myself, people have got a right of free choice in every area of their life. If people desire to be financially sovereign, they can be. If people decide to do nothing about their life and go broke, that's their problem. If people decide to take a jab, if they decide not to, that's people's choice. But once you've got governments of all people and businesses running around saying what choices you're making with your body, it's very hypocritical, as I see it,
Yes.
When in one token you're saying, hey, if you want to say you're transgender or your 4-year-old says they want to change their sex, that's okay. If you say, hey, I want to go and get, have an abortion, that's fine. And look, I'm not saying anything's bad or good about that at all. But you're saying on the one hand, yep, you've got freedom of choice of that. You've got freedom of choice on the LGBT. But I know when it comes to what goes into your body, you've got no choice. I mean, yeah, you have to have half a brain. It's all you need to see something's wrong with that. And that's how I see it. So no, at the very least, I certainly don't want to live my life being a coward. And what drives me is just to make a difference and see the world move into another stage of consciousness and not, continue to live in the nonsense that we're living in right now. I mean, it's just stupid. It's just absolutely stupid. I'm sure you would agree. Just ridiculous.
Absolutely. It's so ridiculous what we're going through. But as you said, there's nothing really new under the sun. And there are more people waking up more than ever before. I mean, everyone's trying to figure out a way out of this. But let's talk about bullies. You shared your story last week how, that work experience you had, one of your bosses was a real bully to you. And one day you stood up to him and you told him not to speak to you like that and to respect you. And there was a change in the way he started to treat you after that. But look, we have families at the moment breaking up. We have people that, marriages. I've seen and known of personal marriages that are just falling apart at the moment because it's so divisive. And also, in your workplace, your friends, people are feeling quite stressed out, Warren. And I know you know what that feels like. But it is really time to stand up to those bullies, and it's time to stand up for yourself. Would you agree?
Couldn't agree more, Jasmine. I mean, as I see it, if someone can't respect my medical choice, for example, they don't deserve to be in my life, They can literally F off. That's my opinion on that. Yeah. So I'm a little bit more straightforward with family members. And my family know that. They know that if they started even trying that caper on me, they'd be out of my life and I wouldn't lose any sleep over it. And they're the ones who'd lose sleep over me. So overall, my family are absolutely respecting my choice really, really nicely because they know the consequences if they don't. I think half the problem is that people let their families push them around. Like they go to the family get together and Aunt Mary gives them some hassle, or their cousin always tells them what to do, and they feel bad about standing up to them, but feel deep down resentful. Yeah. So yeah, look, it's definitely time to stand up because it's your body, your choice, it's your life, and it's your future. And not standing up has deplorable consequences, like really bad consequences. You're talking about a society where in only a matter of months from now, you won't be able to do an awful lot unless you're walking around saying you've had certain medical procedures. I mean, that's like a movie which we watched 10 years ago of a futuristic society. That's what we're talking about. So not learning to stand up has big consequences. So that's why I've been telling people around me, get used to standing up to your family and friends. I mean, if you can't stand up to them, you've got no chance of standing up with government. So sovereignty starts in your daily life. Like if your partner's being abusive, standing up to them, not yelling at them and throwing a saucepan back at them, just standing up to them like, no, this is just not on.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. So let's just get back to some of the things that are really happening with people. And I think what you said before, there are more people waking up, more consciousness that's happening.
Yeah.
People are realizing that if they don't start to make some changes in their life, well, they're going to get caught up in this system that's obviously trying to take away a lot from them and including their freedoms. Now, I was writing down a few things today as I was thinking to discuss with you, and I thought it was really important to mention that right now, with all of the disturbance, with all of the fear, with all of the propaganda, with all of the bullies in the workplace that are saying, if you don't do this, you don't have a job. And if you don't have a job, you know what? You're not going to be able to feed your children. You're not going to be able to pay your mortgage. That's threatening. That is threatening people of their livelihood. And this is probably one of the biggest things that people are worried about because they want to be able to provide for their family. But in saying that, the ultimate thing is everybody has to live their life as they matter. So what I mean is the power is within you. So Warren, I know you do a lot of work around, self-empowerment and empowering yourself to live your true, authentic life. How is that going to be possible when we have all of these disturbances here? Is it possible?
Oh, for starters, yeah. Look, staying centered is one of the most important skills in any spiritual practices, in any daily practices. I mean, we're always going to be surrounded by distractions. And even when things are seemingly calm, you still, if you look back on those times, there still would have been some distractions going on in your life. So yeah, look, basically it's, I was going to say something that slipped my mind, but yeah, look, it's right now more than ever is a time to not let the distractions get to you, and be very, very clear in what you're about, and very, very clear in your truth. And so one little thing I put a Facebook post on the other day, Jasmine, which literally had the most likes of anything I've ever seen, which was basically giving about what if, as a result of a vaccine passport, certain things happened. And one of the things I was just saying to some people, I said, you know, like 30 or 40 years ago when I was a young boy, I said, I don't think I remember going to cafes. I mean, we spent most of our time going to the lake. We went to picnics. We went to barbecues. I've just been down in Albany having the time of my life. They just cut. I was cutting lemons this morning off the tree. We were plucking beetroots and or chucking cabbages. You know, we're all that kind of stuff. And there's just so much like we were having a great time over there, just going out. I was getting firewood and carrying it. Of course, boys find it funny. Just getting back to normal life. So a lot of the stuff that we're afraid of losing are stuff anyway. We become so dependent, like, on what I call net worth rather than self-worth. Like, why do we fear losing our job? Well, oh shit, I've got my mortgage to pay. I've got my ex-husband or ex-wife to pay out. I've got this, and it's like, well, I can remember one of the best times in my life years ago. I lost all my money. I literally had lost everything. I had a failed business. I had various other stuff. I had health issues going on. And I remember just sitting there one day thinking, I'm actually really happy. I've got no responsibilities. I'm enjoying life really now. And within a period of time, a long-standing health condition that for years had caused me great pain and sorrow was fixed up. And so one thing I've learned in life is that having money or in a job and not having money in a job, I can remember for 3 years, I couldn't work because of my pain and my health. Now, was it scary? It was really scary. I mean, I was hitting situations where I had no money, had kids, and we couldn't afford it at the time. And I just and Grace and I kept saying at the time, well, how's it going to work? I don't know. But when I look back, it always worked out. And the number of people I meet, it's always worked out. So one of the things, first thing I say to people about mindset is just what's important, stripping your life back as to what's really important. And I even said this to my son yesterday. I said, if you guys had the choice of having like $100 million of assets right now, but having health problems and losing your freedoms, or living a completely free life, having brilliant health, enjoying life, but having to live like off the grid on a farm where you're having to work, carry firewood, but you're in perfect health, what would you choose? And about hesitation, they said, yeah, we'd choose the latter. I said, yeah. So I said, most people deep down, what we think's important to us isn't actually important at all. And that's the first thing, the sovereign mindset, is just getting back to what's blooming important. And someone said to me, what would you do if you lost everything? I said, well, it's happened to me before. I said, the first time it happened to me, I was terrified. The second time it happened to me, I was a lot better. And it hasn't happened to me again since that time. But you just learn that, you know what? You can make it work, and you learn from it. So whatever's going on in the world around us, as science has shown us, our life and our environment is a reflection of our state of consciousness. So that unfortunately gives us a kick up the arse to say what has been going on in our consciousness as a collective in Sydney, in Perth, in Melbourne, in Ireland, in wherever. I mean, or Adelaide. You know, we have obviously had a pretty fucked up consciousness. Absolutely. And so it comes back to getting our priorities right for me, first and foremost. And you know, if you can't even get your family life in order and your personal life in order, you certainly can't go out and save the world around you. And one of the reasons I'm able to get out and speak and do this stuff is I spent many years getting my personal life and family sorting out. So now I'm able to get up and share and teach people, and you know, people listen for whatever reason. So yeah.
Love you, Warren. We don't want you to go anywhere.
I think I'm stuck here for a while.
Yeah, look, we're stuck together. You're so right. Life is what it is right now. And what you said before, as I said, many people are kind of wanting that change. I just want to mention a few different areas of our life. And if you could kind of talk just in the slightest, maybe some of those things that have affected you and you've made change personally. Because as you said, now you're at a stage you're able to teach, you're able to go out there and be on the front line and you know, for people who want to listen and make a change. But so many people, Warren, I see that are very worn out. They're not looking after themselves, and they're trying to be out there to like this hero to everyone. And all they're doing is actually making themselves more unhealthy, like
Yep.
mentally, physically, and spiritually. So this is a real wake-up call for everyone that we really need to get back to looking after ourselves. So I wanted to mention to you, you know, we've got our health, Warren, which you take very seriously. I know you look after yourself. We've got our wealth. We've got our relationships that we need to nurture. We've got our time, which is so precious. And we've got our purpose. So I know those 5 areas, you talk a lot about them. What are the, you know, first things that come to your mind when those are mentioned, and how important they are to be able to stand up for yourself, to be rich in those areas?
So you said 5 things. You say them again?
We got health. So I'll start with health.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, health to me is one of my highest values, because if your health is not that great, it's horrible. Like, even yesterday, I went to this restaurant in Albany, Jasmine, and I ate, and the garlic bread was like the best I've had in so long. And I'm a very disciplined eater, and I just kept ordering pieces. It was sourdough, and just eating these garlic bread. And on the next day, I woke up and felt terrible. I'm like, oh gosh, I can't believe that. So I was having digestive enzymes. I was fasting on water. I drank about 15 glasses of water, and stopped everything till I got back balanced. And by about lunchtime, I was fine.
Recover.
And that was just a reminder that, yeah, when your health goes out, your body just goes, and you just go all out to fix it. So yeah, I think having empowerment with your health and your body is like number one for me. And on purpose, I remember you said purpose. Purpose is just, oh, look, they've actually found you can live without food and water for a long time, but you can't live without hope. Like, people commit suicide because they lose their hope and purpose. So I've noticed that my life has been the happiest it's ever been when I've had purpose. And right now I've got lots of purpose. So in all honesty, the only thing I notice with what's going on is every now and again I have a look at mainstream media and I read some more of the madness. I'm like, oh God, are these guys a bunch of psychopaths or what? And I just laugh, and I just go, give me a break, you know, come on. I mean, someone shoot these guys or something. Goodness me, this is just nuts. Uh, but yeah, but overall, there's purpose. So having a mission and staying busy with serving, the best way to keep your mindset sovereign and free is actually getting busy serving. Now, not everyone's going to be getting up doing a webinar and speaking to a number of people like I am at the moment, but there was a time in my life I wasn't doing this. Like even like a year or two ago, I'd do a webinar and there'd be maybe 10 or 15 people there, and maybe 20 at the most. And I was okay with that. And then there was times that I was just maybe helping my family or just helping a few close friends, and that was all I was doing. So right now, you may simply be helping your family and just a few close friends. And if you're doing that, that's still an amazing purpose and standing up. And someone mentioned about their kids before, about finding a partner, you know, helping your kids to get a sovereign mindset. And I'm probably more passionate about kids than just about anyone, because I think that kids don't have the baggage we've got. I mean, we fuck them up as parents with our stupid fears and silly beliefs that we put on them. Like there was a really good comment made about before, like what happens if my kids finding a partner? And I'm like, well, the funny thing was, when I homeschooled my kids with Grace, people would say that to us, like, what are they going to do to mingle? You know, it's Morella who asked that question. And I remember saying, well, number one, I remember saying to my boys, we were talking about it, and the boys said, well, most kids are pretty stupid, really. And I said, I'm inclined to agree with you. And so most of the time, your kids hanging out with other kids actually fucks them up, because if you hang out with losers, they become losers. Now, I'm not saying not to hang out, but just hanging out with kids for the sake of hanging out with kids isn't necessarily the best for them. And in fact, now, these days, my sons have the time of their life. They love meeting like-minded young people. But for many years, they were almost hermit studying. And we found that what's happened is they developed a very good sense of self-worth. They didn't need people. Whereas most kids I know are very needy. They need their mum, they need their dad, they need people around them. So I just say, look, you know, yeah, it's great to mingle with like-minded kids. It's one of the reasons we're looking at setting up a like-minded homeschool, so kids can actually meet, you know, like-minded people. And with adults, yeah, you know, meeting like-minded ones and things like that. But at the end of the day, it's not the be-all and end-all of life. And, you know, I tend to find that when you're not searching or pushing, you tend to find what you're looking for. And that's been one of the things I've noticed. So I just always had this certainty that my kids will find someone when the time is right. They haven't had a girlfriend yet and they don't want one, you know. If they do want one, well, online dating is like more prevalent than ever before. So there's always a way, is my attitude. There's always a way. And that's the number one thing I learned with having a mindset is just knowing there's always a way around everything. Like when the mask laws came out in WA, I was like, people said, how do you feel about it? I said, it doesn't bother me, because I said there'll be a way around it for me. And there was. So people say, how do you feel about if they do make this compulsory? I'm like, well, there's always a way around it. So I said, I don't know what it is yet, but there is.
Yeah, that's right. And look, you know, to mention what you said before about, you know, these vaccine passports that are coming, it was so nice to see what you wrote, because we have to see that there's always going to be opportunities when these, you know, things come our way or these new restrictions come. We've got to remember that there will be opportunities to get back to the basics, maybe get back to that home cooking, get back to those picnics. Also support businesses that are going to support, you know, not this segregation and not this weird sense of, well, you can't walk through my doors if you haven't had a certain injection. It's very strange. And I'm sure that instead of putting all your energy into trying to fight these people that are really not for us and what our community is about, let's get out there and support the people who are about what we want to be in this world. Would you? I think that's quite important at this time, because I had a conversation with this lady I go to in Subiaco for a nice, you know, smoothie or something, and I just had a normal conversation with her, Warren, today. I just said, look, you know, how do you feel as a business being told that you possibly have to have a passport system for people to walk in the door?
Oh, they'd hate that. They hate that.
What she said? She said, I would rather close my doors.
Exactly.
So
Most people can't stand that thought. I mean, it's just one of the things, Jasmine, sorry to interrupt you there, but one of the things that I can remember was that with Edward, who now runs all our webinars and everything, I could see when he was young that this boy was born to run business. And I can remember encouraging him when he was 12, 13, and he was doing it. Like, he was running YouTube channels. But I remember at 14, I could just see the guy was born to be a manager.
Yeah.
So I was trying to get him to step up, and he just wasn't seeing it. And I remember getting really frustrated when he's at 14 or 15, and like, why can't this kid see what I see? And eventually I thought, you know what? He'll find it in his own time. And I had to let go, and that was hard for me. And then when I least expected it, one day he came to me and he said, you know, I've got this real desire to manage the business. Can I start being trained to step up and managing it? And now he manages it. And I think and look, at the end of the day, we can all see what's going on. And like, why would you even contemplate having a passport with some stupid medical needle from a bunch of psychopaths? We may be able to see it, but sometimes, whether you like it or not, others have to see it the harder way. Now, business owners, rest assured, give it 6 months, like we've happened with Russia, like what happened with France, everywhere. It won't take long before cafes are screaming, and business owners, if they went this far, because I mean, who's going to, you know, they're going to be screaming because they're going to be losing so many customers, their profit. I mean, big business can get away with it a little bit longer because they've got bigger profit margins, but they still won't like it either, and they'll probably change in due course. And what I found interesting was John Barilello, the New South Wales Deputy Premier, let slip what I was saying a while ago. I said, I think there's an 80% chance anyway. As soon as they hit 80% vaccination, they'll back off and let things go back to normal. That's exactly what they've just done in Singapore, and they've done it in UK. As soon as they hit 75 to 80%, they backed off. And then John Barilello let it slip. And Gladys lost her sticks about it, because you could see she's like, no, don't listen to him. You're still got to get your jab. We can't guarantee anything. But I'm 80% sure New South Wales, once they hit 80%, will do that. Now, I might be wrong, but you know, and even if they don't do it, and even if WA don't end up doing that, for example, well, can you really see businesses wanting to enforce this for too long? And if they're that silly, you know, so I'm predicting that they will do that myself, because if they don't do it, they're very silly and it will really derail things. I think that, in fact, I was having this conversation with a friend the other day who's very switched on. I said to him, the thing is, I've been watching them gradually boil the frog in water for quite some time. And they've been doing a damn good job of it, because they've been gradually bringing in little things here and there. Now, my personal perception of the whole thing is I think they're panicking like crazy, because I think Australia, they've been worried like heck that Australia isn't going to take this jab, and that's why they've gone nuts over here. And I'm actually noticing frogs that were previously quite happy to be boiled in the water are starting to get hot and starting to jump out of the water. I've got friends who are very pro-jab who are questioning it now, who would never have questioned it in a million years. So, you know, in fact, if they don't back off, I think things might change a lot sooner than you think. So overall, the sovereign mindset concedes all perspectives of things. You know, they look at it from all angles and they go, well, if this if this passport system doesn't happen, great. If it happens, well, is it going to stay around long? I mean, good luck if they good luck. I mean, really good luck. I think that most businesses would barely survive and won't put up with it.
No,
So
that's right. I think they won't put up with it. A lot of them. I mean,
yeah,
many people feel forced. But as I said, when I had that conversation with that lady today, I told her, I said, listen, there will be thousands in this city alone that will want to support businesses that do not segregate people, because really it's no one's business what you've injected into your body or not. And she was absolutely in agreement. So I think
yeah.
that it's an encouraging sign. Don't feel scared to have this kind of conversation with people and mention, we need to start uniting as Australians, and we need to be kinder to one another. And those people who are just bullies and want to do this to people and segregate them, let's not support them. And I know it's easier said than done sometimes, but we have to just be brave enough to, stick together.
Well,
and say no.
if a restaurant, like a restaurant where I was in Albany before, 3 months ago when I was there, were really Nazi on the QR check-in. I'd been going there regularly, and they just suddenly decided to go Nazi on it. So this time around, I didn't go there. I'm not going to go there again. And I've been telling all my friends, just start doing your shopping away from Woolworths, away from Coles, away from all these places, because rest assured, I'm 90% sure they'll enforce it. And so start getting on to more local businesses, get back to local communities, get back. I mean, I have more connections and more friends this year than I've had in years. I've been a hermit for a long time and just hanging out with my family and a couple of close friends. So I'm making so many friends this year. Like, I'm finding out people from this group actually live near here. Like one lady I found, she literally lives at the caravan park, Jasmine, 10 minutes walk from me. So I'm like, oh, let's catch up. We've got to catch up and have a coffee at Surfing Lizard, which is nearby. And she goes, yeah, absolutely. And I'm doing that now because I'm like, oh man, there's just so many great people that I'm actually meeting right now. So I'm just like, you know what, maybe right now, not participating in this society is a good thing, because I think the whole society is absolutely fucked up right now. That's my perception. That's how I see a lot of it.
Yeah.
So I'm quite happy to start building a new world and a new awakening, a new community, because people like us will, as time goes on, energy medicine will be the future of the world. It will be. I mean, give it 10, 12 years from now, quantum energy and energy medicine will be the future of the world. This is a last ditch aim to stop it. I mean, don't forget Napster tried everything to stop, live streaming of songs and music, now it's normal, but like they were like, oh no, you are stealing our rights, and they were suing Napster. So big companies always freak out and think small-minded, and that's what I'm seeing. I reckon give it 5 to 10 years, and quantum frequency energy medicine will be the future of the world, and things like that. So it's just seeing the bigger picture of the whole thing. And the sovereign individual, like for example, when I'm doing the event this Saturday, that one-day event, Stephen, who's speaking with me, he's our mystery speaker who I've been mentioning. I'm so excited to have procured. Yes. He's used to dealing with $50 to $100 million clients, and he's been starting to deal in the last few years with other people as well to give back after almost dying from a spider bite. But yeah, Stephen's got one of the most amazing sovereign mindsets of anyone I've ever met. And he always says, I'm looking at the big, big picture,
Yeah, the big, big picture. That's right. Oh, that's
yeah.
awesome. Well, we may as well expand a little bit about this weekend, just for everyone who is online tonight. We are running a live event in Perth, but it's going to be online streamed as well, completely, in the moment. So you can ask questions. We're going to put the link below, and you'll also get another email after this stream. But really, we're going to be covering about mastering your mindset. We've got the special guest as well that Warren was just talking about. And
I know. That's so good.
That's guys, just to let you know, it's very rare that people would generally get this time with our guest speaker. He's very busy, and usually he deals with clients who,
well, no, Stephen, in the past, he deals with our high net worth clients who pay, and are part of our clubs. But to get him to come and speak to an event like this, it's like, I didn't think he would say yes, to be honest, but I thought I may as well give it a shot. And to my astonishment and my joy, he said yes. So Stephen, there's many of my clients, rave about how he's changed their life. His knowledge of world finance, investments, sovereignty. I mean, he was telling me about the US election, what was really going on. He's got inside intelligence into the military, the best about digital privacy and going dark I've ever met, like how to get off the radar. So, he's the best I've met in that area. Like, he's taught me so much about going dark or getting off the grid and being private. He's just brilliant.
Wow. Okay. Well, everyone heard that. That's pretty exciting. I'm actually really excited.
Like he got me off Google, you know, and how to use DuckDuckGo, and there's not, but that's the many things. There's so many things he's been showing me, and ways where you can literally get yourself very, very private. So yeah, Takeli said about going dark. I agree. I didn't realize how important it was myself until talking with Stephen, and just I used to think it was really difficult because I'd done it before and I'd found it really cumbersome, but he was showing me it's a lot easier now. So yeah, he's a real wealth of knowledge. So he'll definitely be speaking about that kind of stuff.
Wow. Okay. That's exciting. Yeah. So you heard that. So that'll be a full day event.
Yeah, it's a full day event. So there's a mixture of things. I'm doing the first part about the sovereign mindset and clearing your blocks. Then Stephen and Grace are going to be talking about the quantum side of things and shifting and energy and everything is consciousness. Then you've got Stephen. Stephen's going to be speaking, is one of our speakers as well, and he'll be speaking with a slot live streaming in from Brisbane, Queensland, where he's staying at the moment. And then I'm going to be doing the workshop in the afternoon about lawful rights, common law strategy, and even doing some workshops on practical issues and ways you can write notices or write things and ways to practically stand up for yourself with situations and strategies and case studies, that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a mixture of teaching and a very practical workshop as well.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we're really looking forward to having everyone there. So yeah, as I said, you can sign up through the link below. If you've got questions, reach out to us. You know, you can email us at support@globalwealthclub.org.
And where's the link? The link's not on the chat yet, I don't think.
We'll make sure if Grace or Edward can chuck that link in, and otherwise I'll grab that, no problems at all. We'll put that in. So yeah, this is really exciting. So this is the time that we come together. This is the time that even though things are looking crazy and it's a bit of a shit show, and as Warren said, you know, we need to start creating our new ways. This is also the time that this is why we're doing what we're doing, so we can invest in ourselves. We can start to do things like go dark. We can start to learn new tricks, new things that you can apply to your life. Because we know people are doing it quite tough, and we know in the eastern states people are really stressing out, they're feeling under the pressure, but this is also time that you can have that personal growth in your mind, in your finances, in your family, in your spiritual life, all of those things, but you need to put the work in. So just lastly, just the last few ones before we answer a few questions, and thanks Warren for chucking that in, the link is now below. I just wanted to take note about anger. Like a lot of the times, you know, when these sorts of things happen, because it's quite abusive what's happening to us as a collective, people are quite angry. And I know there is a righteous anger, and I know that there's a place for anger. But Warren, would you say that it's not really good for your long-term health to hold on to anger so dearly and so close, and to not let it run your life, because it can actually make you unwell?
Oh, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Anger and emotion and charged emotions are the fastest way, Jasmine, to get very, very sick. In fact, excessive anger, which goes out of control, has been proven to affect your liver and your gallbladder. And when you repress your anger, so righteous anger, controlled anger, expressed properly, is powerful. But angry where it's just what I call repressed emotional charge is very, very dangerous. So yeah, I'm mad about what's going on, but the most healthy way I learned in psychotherapy when I worked with a top psychotherapist years ago is to express your anger in clear communication, clear words, and clear action. But that anger is a healthy expression of anger. Like, yeah, I mean, it's like if someone comes up and tries to, you know, rape you, of course you're going to get angry. You're going to be furious, you know, but there's a healthy anger in how you deal with it and what's called unhealthy anger. So right now, healthy anger, which means to take action and express yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's good. And I think as well, because even before all these things happen, what you said, there's nothing new under the sun here. And this is an opportunity for each and every one of us to master all areas of our life. And it's not impossible. It is possible right now. People who are locked down, maybe you have more time than ever before to really focus on things that you didn't have time before to do. So we've got to turn all of these negatives into something that is going to help our growth. And this is why it's really important we run these webinars, so everyone is reminded that if we put that work in and if we take that time for that growth, that we're going to have the fruit, we're going to bear the fruit from that. So we just really want to encourage everyone to continue to do that and to not fear change, because there's something certain in life, Warren, and that's change.
Absolutely. No, nothing like change, transformation. Everything changes. In fact, there's an old saying, Jasmine, between men and women that a man marries a woman thinking she'll never change, but she does, and a woman marries a man thinking she can change him, and she can't. There's a bit of a joke that I once heard. So, but the only thing that's certain in life is that things change. I mean, companies have gone broke because they still were trying to hold on to video libraries when streaming was coming in. Kodak went broke because they still believed that, you know, manual development was the way of the future. People lost their jobs in the Industrial Revolution because they were still holding on to the rights of workers and they had no rights to machines. So nothing's really changed. So people today are like, I'm losing my job. Well, why not get creative? I know so many people who could see the writing on the wall last year and the beginning of this year. They were leaving their jobs because they were getting pressure on the flu jab and others. Now many of them have got jobs they love. Many of them are doing network marketing businesses that are prospering. There's so many people who've been going into these online health and other businesses and they're taking off. I mean, I'm meeting people everywhere, all getting jobs that they really love. So, you know, yeah, by all means, fight for your job like never before. Don't just give up like, you know, like a pussy, so to speak. You know, make sure that if you have to leave, then make sure you leave with a loud song and dance and make sure you leave yelling. But while you're leaving out yelling, have a smile on your face because you've already got your backup options prepared and you already know life's about to get better because you've got something else lined up, you know? It's a little bit like when you're dating, when you're in a relationship with someone and your partner is treating you really, really badly. And they think that, and you know, and it's obviously ending, and they gloat over you because they're ending it or they've got someone else, but you've already moved on in your heart. You feel a lot better than if it takes you by surprise. So it's the same thing. Like if you're in that position, just let that be the impetus to get sovereign like never before in your life. Like, you know, like the impetus to get sovereign like never before, and to step up and really go, you know what? I've been sitting on my ass in all likelihood doing a job for years, knowing I probably should take some action, but being too scared. Let this be my wake-up call, because if you don't, it could be you're getting the biggest forced awakening of your life, and if you still don't listen and run around in terror. Now, I'm all for protest and taking action in the right setting. What I've noticed is many people taking action, it's more of us, they're scared shitless, feeling very disempowered, and they're yelling and running out, taking it out on someone, and they're grabbing onto any straw they can, like, it's not legal, you know, this is that. Whether or not that's true or not, you got to practically step up and take care of your life and situation before you can go and address bigger issues.
Yes.
It's like trying to invest in a $1 billion development when you never even put, you know, $50,000 in gold or something like that. You know, you got to start with what you've got.
Absolutely. Start with what you've got. So if your health is not the best, what do you need to do today to make the changes to get healthier? What if you are carrying a lot of anger? What can you do to deal with that anger and, you know, push that into a direction that is going to help you heal from that and move forward? So look, we wanted to keep this around the 45-minute mark, but is there any final questions or any other final words that you kind of wanted to share? I'll just quickly check the link here if there was anything specific. Let me have a look.
Yeah, the event here, someone's asked about the time. Okay, so the time it starts, the registration's 8 a.m. for those in physical or 10 a.m. Sydney time. If you're for live streaming, because most of you who'll be joining the event will be joining by live stream from out of Perth, because only people in Perth, WA, obviously can come live to the event. That's quite a small number. So it's going to be mainly people coming to the live stream, or those who can't come to the live stream, you can still sign up and then get access to the recording straight afterwards. So the start time officially for the live stream is 8:30 Perth time and 10:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time, and it finishes at 5:30 Perth time, goes till 7:30. So it's an all-day event to give you as much value as we can. And like I said, if you're coming in person in Perth, you come a little bit earlier, so you can say hi to everyone.
Yeah, and the whole team will all be there, and it's in the city, central city, so it's easy to park, easy to get around, and it's fully catered for as well for the day, so whoever comes along. So we're really looking forward to seeing everybody. Warren, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Jasmine.
It's so lovely to see everyone joining in on this weekly, and there's so many other webinars that Warren runs for free for people to get information. So please make sure you're following the Global Wealth Club and the City Awakening on Facebook and Telegram. As I said, you're always welcome to reach out to us. And yeah, we just absolutely love doing this every week.
Absolutely, Jasmine. And yeah, so we'll definitely see those on Saturday who's coming. And yeah, I think we might be doing something tomorrow night, but I'll confirm. So final thing. Yep. Thank you, Nadine. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. God bless you all and take care.